This is an MF Pod presentation of the Pants Free Podcast, originating from
mfpod.com.
Hello and welcome to the Pants Free Podcast. My name is Belonius Francine Marconi, and along with me always my podcast compadre Nick Miles. What are you up to?
Playing with fish. It's the first thing that came to my head.
You don't have fish.
No, I got them out of the freezer and I'm just, flopping them around on the ground.
Oh, fish fingers.
Yeah, fish fingers.
That's right. In England, they call fish sticks fish fingers. And why is that?
Because they look like fingers. If fish had hands.
I think fish fingers is a way better name than fish sticks.
Yeah, because fish don't have sticks.
What have you been up to?
I've been around the world in 80 days. I'm just getting things organized in my massive media empire. Yeah.
For your takeover of the world?
Yeah, I'm taking over a small corner of the Facebooks, the Twitters,
Oh wow! So what happens now? What's the next move?
That's what I'm doing. I have a blank sheet of paper and I'm drawing things. I'm drawing plans. So far on my blank sheet of paper, I have a small rabbit and a Christmas tree.
I thought you were traveling today.
I am. I'm going to Seattle to the Seattle Auto Show. I do some filming up there. I'm working on 2 stories for CBS, so gonna work on those.
Wait, hold on. You just dropped that name here. Let me pick that up for you.
Get a shovel.
That's right. So Nick is going to be on CBS television network?
No, it's CBS in San Francisco and Sacramento.
Oh, okay. So the 2 major markets. That's huge, right?
Yeah, I think that's pretty good. I'm getting and they're exchanging money for my services, which is unusual.
Is this what would be called freelance or freelance?
Yes, freelancing. No, sort of freelance. Although I'm sort of building an empire together. So.
Oh, well, good luck in your future endeavors.
Yeah, that's what everyone always says.
Here is your late news roundup from the world and the nation.
Well, because you are unlimited time, Nick, this is what I like about Nick. He's a very, very busy man, and so busy, in fact, he often doesn't have time to do life simple things like put on pants. Right?
Hence the Pants Free Podcast.
That's why he's here.
I don't have any pants on, I assure you.
Oh. All right, then we must carry on. What do you have in your news today, Nickel?
Did you hear about the story about Kevin Clash?
Oh,
this Kevin Clash, you know who he is. He's the voice of Elmo on the various Sesame Streets, and there's allegations that he has had a relationship with an underage young man.
Yeah, and I guess he admitted that he had relations with the kid, but it was once he turned 18.
Right.
And as you know, we've lived in Portland. Our beloved mayor, Sam Adams, had a scandal like this, and they couldn't prove anything, so they kind of moved on, and he said he'd step down, and so it's kind of gone away a little bit.
Right.
But do you think Kevin Clash will continue being Elmo ever again? Is this over for the guy?
Yeah, the trouble is that you have to evaluate these cases on the evidence you have in front of you, and it's a smirch against the brand, but at the same time, he's been a loyal employee, he's an important part of the show, and who knows, why is this 23-year-old coming forward now and saying 7 years ago he had a relationship? Is that true? Who knows?
Right, yeah, and the thing is, though, because he is in a children's medium...
Right.
And because these, you know what I mean? Like, if it were anything else, like if he did another job, like if, I don't know, he ran an auto parts store, it might be a lot different. But since he's Elmo and everybody knows who he is, you kind of expect better behavior from a guy like that. And even if it's not true, the allegations alone could ruin you.
And that's the problem, isn't it? If you support the allegations and this individual is then suddenly found out to have been lying, he's ruined someone's career. Plus, what happens in the future is everybody knows that they can make these they can allege anything, and the person will lose their job. So it then becomes a blackmail, a power situation.
Yeah, I mean, and you can all hear the jokes like, oh, that's what Tickle Me Elmo means. That kind of stuff. Or, and I guess Barney called in to console him and says, that's why you killed him afterwards. I don't think that's right, but
no, that's wrong.
But I really do think, like, because I watched, I don't know if you've seen this, Being Elmo. It's a documentary that came out, and it's about how Kevin Clash became who he is. And he worked very closely with Jim Henson in the beginning before Jim passed away. And the crazy thing about how he was Elmo was like a guy was throwing away, I can't do anything with this Muppet. You try it, Kevin. And then Kevin came up with this voice suddenly, and it became the biggest thing ever. And now he is not only the voice of Elmo, but several other characters, and one of the head guys of he's like the head Muppet master or something like that. And it's weird because he's so involved with Sesame Street, and if anybody has grown up with this show, you kind of have an attachment to it. So anytime something big like this happens, you're like, wow. And
the other thing about it, though, too, is, there was an investigation by the Sesame Street team and the lawyers, and they found the allegations were unsubstantiated.
What, Sherlock Hemlock went out on the prowl looking for?
The Ducks are number 2, by the way. Did you know this?
According to the BCS.
Yeah, in fact, the AP say they're number 1, but number 2, the Ducks. I have something very interesting about the Ducks. I was in San Francisco a short while back, and I went to the museum there, which is their animation museum for Disney, and in there is obviously Donald Duck wearing a Ducks uniform. And this is the only instance because Disney's kids went to the U of O. Donald Duck being used by the U of O is the only place that Donald Duck is licensed outside of the Disney empire. Did you know that?
I mean, I think that's a known thing for a lot of years. But it's funny that you said you were in San Francisco because they just played Cal last weekend. So There you go.
But I wasn't there for that game. But bam, anyway.
Yeah, he was. Nick wasn't at the game. He was at a museum. If that tells you how much of a sports fan Nick is.
Yeah, I went to the Disney Museum.
When news breaks, we're the first there to mock it.
In way more important news than football, Paul McCartney and his wife Nancy, they almost fell to their death. Did you hear this?
This saddened me when I thought about not only, to me, the best Beatle. Of course, he's the only real living. I mean, we have Ringo. Ringo signed off. Ringo signed off a few years back and doesn't want any contact with fans, so he told us basically all to F off. So I don't care about Ringo anymore. Paul, and besides, he was just the drummer. Come on. And Paul McCartney is just the sweetest guy, and if you've ever had the opportunity to see him live, he's amazing. And it's just cool to have somebody still alive that is that incredible, such an icon. And the fact that he almost died, it was so what happened? Like the pilot lost control of the helicopter?
Yeah, there was bad weather as they were trying to land in their East Sussex estate, and the pilot got disoriented and nearly crashed the helicopter, basically.
I mean, have you been in helicopter situations before you were scared at?
Not necessarily scared at. I've done a lot of what you would consider difficult maneuvers in helicopters, but I've never been frightened because there's always been competent people with me.
Do TV because I don't even know, like it used to be a big thing in local TV to have the helicopters do the traffic and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's really gone out of fashion now because there's just not the money involved anymore. It costs between $2 and $10 million a year to operate a helicopter,
and that's just fuel alone.
Yeah, and there's several instances. It's no secret that Channel 6 in Portland and Channel 12 in Portland share a helicopter, and it's painted one color one side and one color the other.
Well, I remember it was a big deal, like in the mid-'90s, that Channel 2 did the Power of Two, and they said they had 2 helicopters, right? And it was like this big deal. We've got 2 helicopters. And then it turns out that they owned one and rented one. And then the one that was rented was used to clear brush and trees and stuff like that from Mount Hood. And it crashed into Mount Hood. And they had to do a story about their helicopter crashing.
Right. And, yeah.
It's like, what? Well, we're sorry. We're down to one helicopter. We're just like the commoners now. We've only got one helicopter.
Yeah, the difference with that was actually that one of the helicopters that they had was actually only rented part-time. They paid for it to be painted, and so it was actually a logging helicopter they used.
That's what I just said.
Oh, I didn't hear that part.
Oh, I said they rented it, and they used to do log trees and brush from Mount Hood.
That's what I heard log, and then you dropped out. So
I blame your connection because mine's always perfect.
Yes, nothing about you is ever anything beyond perfect.
That's right.
I have a signed piece of paper that says so.
All right, well, at least you're aware. I mean, that's half the battle right there.
This is very sad news for all straight girls around the world. Justin Bieber is no longer with Selena Gomez.
He's now decided to be a lesbian?
I don't know. A lot of young ladies are very happy that he's single, but a lot of young men who've always thought that Justin may not play on the women's side of the field are also very, very excited.
But he is a sexy girl. Let's be honest.
He absolutely is. It kind of. I talked to some women about this and asked them their opinion, and it seems to be that a lot of women feel that Justin Bieber is just a little too effeminate to be a date.
But he doesn't have any like if he could have any girl his age he wants. Let's be honest. So
right.
He's not. I mean, do you think any of that stuff ever? I mean, he's a person beyond being famous. But do you think he's affected by people thinking he looks like a lesbian or anything like that? Do you think he cares?
No, I'm sure he doesn't.
Well, he supposedly is sleeping around with this Victoria's Secret model, or they've been seen around together a lot.
Right, but although everybody's saying, the fact is that it's someone familiar with the situation has told TMZ online that they are not having an affair.
Oh,
now, take that as you will. I mean, that's TMZ unreliability for you. Could be true, could not.
Maybe the Victoria's Secret model is just a beard. It is Movember, after all.
It's the news.
Soundgarden tickets just $300 a piece. Oh, what a deal! You can buy them right now.
Yeah, Craig Montoya on Facebook. He's the former bassist of Everclear.
Yeah,
a pretty cool guy, actually. Got an email from his Soundgarden fan club saying that tickets are available for the Portland show, $300 a piece. And even him, I mean, he's a rock star saying this. Like he's like, oh, what a bummer. I don't get that. And what was the highest price you've ever paid for a concert? Because we're in media, we get a lot of free tickets to stuff.
Well, I can't think of the highest price I've ever paid for a concert because I can't really remember paying for a concert ever. But
I paid for, I believe it was over $200 for a pair of tickets to see Paul McCartney. And the seats were pretty good. That's Paul McCartney.
Right.
And that was only like maybe, it wasn't that long ago. It was maybe 7 years ago.
Well, Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young supposedly asked for $252 a ticket for their Portland, Oregon concert. Jerry Seinfeld charges about $170 a ticket for his shows.
I don't think Soundgarden commands $300, and the fans of a Soundgarden aren't the kind of people that are going to have that kind of money. Do you?
Yeah, they sent it. The interesting thing is they sent it to the fan club. Who knows what that is?
And then somebody said that he saw tickets online for $185 or something. That's still a lot of money per ticket.
Right.
I would say the top I would probably pay for a ticket of a Soundgarden show is about $80.
Right.
And that would still seem high because I'm buying another ticket for a guest, But
right.
I don't know. People in the Northwest remember going to see Soundgarden at a little shitty club for $10 or $5, So it's like now
that's a good point.
And now you're so desperate that you have to charge $300, and it's at the Schnitz, which is a great venue.
I'm very, I guess, weird about these sort of things. Is I don't want to pay a lot of money. I mean, I'd rather pay higher money for a concert, not have to put up with a lot of people in a more intimate, smaller venue. It's when it's giant concerts, Lady Gaga, and there's 10 million people. It feels like you're just so many people to go see those shows, whereas I guess if it's a smaller, intimate show, the more the price, the less the kickback from me.
Yeah, we saw Gaga together.
We did. We had